So I've had the Mosko Moto Reckless 80 version 4 for some time now, and in this video I want to share with you why I chose it above other luggage systems and how it's mounted to the CRF. If you're considering buying a larger luggage system for multi-day trips for your CRF or any other dual sport, and you want to know the pros and cons of this system, please stick around. So why did I choose the Mosko Moto Reckless 80 system over other systems? Well, to be honest, I had Mosko Moto backcountry panniers, the 25-liter version, and a separate duffel bag, backcountry duffel bag, on my previous motorcycle, the Tenere A660. When I switched to the CRF, I wanted a lighter system, a Reckless system. So at that time, I basically saw there were two options, the Kriega OS system or the Mosko system. I thought I could save some money, so I tried the Kriega OS system, which is significantly cheaper. And it had two OS bases, so two ways of mounting into the motorcycle. A general OS base, made for any motorcycle, if you can fit it, and the dedicated CRF base. But that only enabled one 12-liter bag on each side and set way too high for my liking, and it did not enable a duffel bag. Now for me that was not an option because I really needed a duffel bag on top to even remotely enable myself to take all the luggage with me. So I eventually bought the Adventure Spec side luggage racks, I think they're called, and mounted one OS bag on each side, a 12-liter, and then a duffel bag on top. I did not like that. I thought the attachment to the luggage plates was not working well. It wasn't made for it. The bags got a bit saggy, meaning they did not attach to the side luggage racks if you did some proper off-roading. It got some slack. And eventually, when arriving at the camping site, I was not able to detach them easily like I am with the Mosko. Just remove the bag and voila, we're there. So eventually when I tried to save some money, but at the end of the day I ditched the OS bags and bought the Reckless system instead. And here we are. So why not a Reckless 40 system from Mosko, you may ask? Because this is an 80 system, twice the capacity, but it may look a bit odd, a bit big on a small dual sport motorcycle like the CRF. Well, sometimes I tend to prefer style above function, but in this case, when I go on multi-day camping trips, I'm just not able to put in all the stuff I need in the 40-liter system. I think the Reckless 40 does look a lot better on the CRF, but I think I would be shooting myself in the foot in this case, preferring style above function, because I would simply have to leave out items I would usually need on a multi-day camping trip, especially when I'm riding solo and do not share any other stuff with my riding buddies. So for example, when I do a multi-day camping trip in the Netherlands, the weather in fall and spring, when I mainly ride, it fluctuates a lot. You can have a full day of rain, you can have temperatures swinging between 5 degrees Celsius to 25, and at night you might experience a 0 degrees night, where it's very cold. So you have to pack a lot of layers in your luggage system to be able to keep yourself warm or keep yourself dry. And for those scenarios, a Reckless 80 for me is the only way to go. If you live maybe in Portugal or Spain or any other country where the weather is not that fluctuating, maybe with a Reckless 40 you would do just fine. Now you could upgrade the Reckless 40 by replacing the 8-liter Stinger bag it has on top with the 22 I have here. So with that would up your capacity a bit. And I think a lot of people would actually make that work, but that would also require you to maybe shell out some extra money for some lightweight stuff that packs smaller. So you would be able to take most of the stuff with you, but in a different capacity than the 80. And I'm just not willing to spend that much more money to enable me to use the Reckless 40. I do have a Reckless 10, but that is mainly used when I do a single day ride without any overnighting, or when we have booked a hotel and are staying there. For example, when I was in beginning of June in France, we had the same hotel for 3 days and we rode all the TED tracks around that. I just used the Reckless 10 for enabling me to carry my tool roll and a spare tube and that sort of stuff. So how did I attach the Reckless system to the CRF? Well, attaching any Reckless system to this bike can be a bit tricky because of the shape of the frame and the small dimensions. As you can remember, I had the Adventure Spec luggage racks on the side. Did not like them, but left on the bracket it had. And that actually works very well as a mounting point. But when attaching the Mosko system, you get the standard straps, which are generally made for this kind of distance at least. Well, that's not the case here, so I removed it. That was quite tricky actually, if you do not want to cut it. And then added a volet strap, and it now attaches very well to the bike. It works a lot better, a volet strap, if you only have a small space between the attachment point and the bracket. And it's now solidly mounted to the bike. Now when it comes to attaching it to the luggage rack at the back, you get 3 straps from Mosko Moto, which I ditched and bought a knoblin system instead. Maybe if you're watching this, version 2 might be out, but I still have a version 1. It was still quite a challenge because the harness is quite big and the rack I have is pretty slim, but eventually it worked out. And it now enables me to attach it to the bike very firmly without it flapping around, but also to remove it from the bike within a few seconds. So, for example, when I would arrive at a hotel in an urban area, I usually when I'm at a camping spot, I would just pull out the bags and the duffel, throw them in the tent and leave the harness on. But when I'm in a more urban area, I would like to take everything with me. And with this mounting system, with the volet straps and the knoblin, I'm able to remove this from the motorcycle in a few seconds and just take it with me very easily. Now I did not opt for the auxiliary pockets. They look very nice. They sit at the bottom. But because, as you can see, the bags are already pretty low on the CRF. So adding something which would sit even lower would not contribute, I think, to the handling of the bike or stability or safety. But if you want something like that, they have like molly pouches, and I think the 2-liter versions work very well on top. So if you're going for multi-day, multi-week camping or adventure and you need something like that, there's an option, but I would not go for the auxiliary pockets at the bottom, just go for something on top. So I hope this was some useful information on the Mosko Moto Reckless system on my CRF. I mean, this video is not an in-depth review. I might do that in the future, but for now I just wanted to share my thoughts, show you how I attach it to the bike, what best practices I use, and how you could maybe consider this system on your dual sport. If you have any questions about the Mosko Reckless system, about attaching it to the CRF or any other dual sport, or even if you might have a Mosko system yourself on your dual sport, I would like to see your thoughts about it. So yeah, leave a comment and then I'll see you in the next video. Take care.